In this episode, I'm going to help you relieve your stress by sharing the 4 C's of creating leverage in your business. Ready to stop worrying and start winning? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that business is all about creating leverage that allows you to be better than your competition, that there are 4 specific areas that you need to focus your time and attention on, and they all start with a C, and that you can exchange being anxious, worried, and fearful with simply focusing on building your unique form of leverage. Here's my question for you this week. How effectively are you applying leverage in your business? Sometimes I think as business owners, we overcomplicate things. And before you think I'm talking down to you or others as a business owner, let me quickly tell you that I include myself in this. I too tend to overcomplicate my business and my role in the business. As a result, I tend to get worked up too easily, stressed out too quickly, and jump to conclusions too often. How about you? Do you ever find yourself stressed out, overworked, jumpy, and edgy? Chances are, if you're like most business owners I've met, you're no different than most of us. Most likely, you're as guilty of overcomplicating things as the rest of us are. In fact, just this weekend, I got an email from an anxious business owner who I had recently met. We've been talking about working together to help them get out of their daily grind of working in their business, and their head was spinning with what-ifs, concerns, fears, and worries. Attached to their email was a 4-page, single-spaced document that outlined their many concerns and fears to help me get a better sense of what was bouncing around in their head. To be honest, many of their concerns and fears were similar to what I hear from business owners on a daily basis. This just happened to be packaged into a single document that, when you read it, would make you wonder why you would ever want to be a business owner. And as I read and reread the letter attached to the email, I came to the realization that this business owner was doing what most business owners do. They were overcomplicating their business and their role in it. It reminded me of a podcast that I listened to recently where the podcast guest was making the point that business is simply about leverage. I was taken by the simplicity of the message to the point that I went back and listened to the podcast a second time, this time taking notes. And when I got the email from this anxious business owner over the weekend, I decided I would make this my discussion topic today. Now, I know that the title of my podcast is Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, and this topic of leverage doesn't necessarily fit into this podcast. Or does it? Well, today I want to make the case that if we as business owners would focus our attention on the things that matter most to make our business successful, our teams would not fail. In fact, our teams would be so clearly focused on the right things that our businesses would be wildly successful and fun to own. Let's see if this idea that business is all about leverage makes sense to you. Here's the idea. There are 4 specific C's of leverage that you and I as business owners should make our priority. The first C of leverage is content. When you think of content, you may think of written documents, videos, articles, publications, and the like. Content is essentially getting out of our heads those things that we think about and know with certainty and getting them down into a form or format that can be shared, either read or viewed time and time again. So as it relates to business, the content I'm referring to are those things that we call standard operating procedures, or SOPs. The SOPs in your business are the way that you want the business operated that are consistent with your brand and that will set you apart from your toughest competitors. These are likely the processes or step-by-step activities that drive you nuts when they don't happen as you like or as you had planned. These are the things that many of your team members may either disregard or take shortcuts on that make you pull your hair out. Think about it. How many times have you watched or observed someone in your business not follow a process or protocol that you know must be done properly to get the best outcome? The question you need to ask is, have we created all the content we need to have this business work like clockwork? Are all the processes documented? Does every process have a written SOP? Are the written processes and SOPs posted in the workplace? And is everyone following your SOPs without exception? The first point of leverage we must make sure that's in place in our business is our content. When you have your content complete, right, and well distributed, your business becomes very simple to execute. Just follow the processes and SOPs. The second C of leverage is capital. Capital is the lifeblood of any business, yours and mine. As the business owner, it's your responsibility to make sure that your access to capital and your capital reserves are sufficient to allow your business to operate without delay or interruption. I know this sounds easy, but oftentimes it's a challenge for some business owners. You need to make sure that the business has all the funds necessary to buy raw materials, cover operating expenses, and make payroll, along with several other demands for your financial resources. Which is why, as the business owner, you should be thinking, planning, and operating at least 3 to 6 months ahead of where your business is right now. You need to be looking at your cash flow forecast for the next several months and anticipating the capital needs and demands on your business. When you're looking 3 to 6 months in the future, you have time to make adjustments, consider alternatives, and plan for contingencies. It's difficult to do any of these when you're operating financially on a daily or weekly basis. When you aren't looking into the future, you lose your leverage, especially in the area of capital. When you're running up against your capital limits, you have very few options, and most are not good for the business. Do you have a cash flow forecast? And is it updated regularly to give you a clear picture of your future capital needs? Do you have an alternative capital resource you can pull from if something unexpected or an emergency were to arise? Do you have advisors who can and do give you sound counsel in the area of capital resources for your business? This is a critical area of leverage for your business, and when done well, will allow you to sleep soundly knowing your business is financially sound. The third C of leverage is code. Now I know why they titled this area as code, because it makes it fit with the 4 C's. But I like to think of this as leveraging technology. In today's business world, the most successful businesses know how to leverage technology or code in their business. They're not working with the business using paper and pencil. They've found ways to allow technology to make them more efficient, more productive, and more accurate. This is particularly powerful if your business has unique processes or follows protocols that set you apart from your competition. Rather than just simply allow these differentiated processes to be manual, you can build leverage by automating them or writing code that forces these differences to become the way we do things here. I was thinking about this just this morning when I stopped for breakfast at my favorite breakfast cafe. The servers at this cafe are masters of their trade. They're all genuinely welcoming, engaging, and supremely efficient. They each carry an iPad that's strapped like a traveling purse. As a result, they can enter an order in moments. No pen or paper here. They're walking order takers, instant status updaters, and mobile cash registers. Here's another example. A commercial cleaning company that I'm associated with has just finished writing an entire revenue system using their own unique code that allows them to engage with their service teams and customers in a way that sets them apart from their low-tech competitors. I could go on, but I'll stop here. If you simply pay attention, you can see these kinds of technology or code enhancements everywhere. Mobile apps, artificial intelligence tools, and custom-designed programming that helps make a business more efficient, more unique, and more scalable. Have you created code for your business to lock in the benefits or enhancements you deliver to your customer? Are you thinking about the next opportunity to use technology or code to set your business apart from others? Building your business around its unique code is the third C of leverage you should focus on. And lastly, the fourth C of leverage is collaboration. This C is all about getting your team of people to work effectively together. As the business owner, spending time noticing where there are cracks in your teamwork and fixing the cracks is a powerful use of your time. Oftentimes, these cracks happen because of a misunderstanding of roles and responsibilities. The cracks may be caused by a mismatch of skills and capabilities and the functional job needs. They may be the result of a culture of acceptance or the lack of a clear, compelling vision that motivates your team to do their best. Building collaboration among your team is perhaps the most impactful form of leverage you have in your business. It's also the one that you can improve quickly by implementing solid, people-oriented processes and practices across your business. If you're thinking you need more leverage in this area of collaboration, simply look back to the many previous podcast episodes I've recorded, and you'll find the specific topic that will address your need. Improving the leverage in this fourth area of collaboration will help you enjoy your business far more than you do today, I promise. So there you have it, the 4 C's of leverage that you, as the business owner, must focus your time and attention on. Make sure your content is complete, up to date, and posted everywhere. Look into the future for your capital requirements so you'll never be caught short. Turn your differentiators into sustainable advantages by using code and technology, and build collaboration into the fabric of your teams. Do this, and your stress level will go away as your business begins to shine. As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number 1, the key to being a successful business owner is to focus on what matters most. And number 2, what matters most in your business is that you create the leverage that will allow you to compete with anyone. And number 3, taking time to master the 4 C's of leverage will not only position your business for success, but will remove the stress, worry, and fear that you're feeling right now. If you'd like some additional support in this area or want to tap into our free resources, simply go to my website, tourtoprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss getting the front wheel of your bike spinning. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.